Most people give up at the exact moment success is about to begin. They work for a few weeks, see no result, and decide it is not working. They try something new for a few days, feel no change, and move on to something else. Life has a rule that almost nobody believes until they experience it. The reward usually arrives right after the point where most people quit. My name is Jafar, and this story is about a tortoise that taught an entire town the true meaning of patience. In a small coastal town, there lived a fisherman named Idris. He was not wealthy, he was not skilled, he did not own a big boat. He only had a tiny wooden raft, some old fishing nets, and a tortoise named Stone. Stone had been with Idris for as long as anyone could remember. Stone was slow, painfully slow. While other fishermen's dogs ran ahead excitedly, Stone moved at his own pace, one careful step at a time. People in the town often laughed. "Idris, why do you keep that tortoise around? He cannot even help you carry your nets. He just slows you down." Idris would smile and say, "Slow is not the same as useless." Every morning before sunrise, Idris pushed his small raft into the sea. He fished in the same shallow waters near the shore, just like everyone else. But the shallow waters were crowded. Too many fishermen, too few fish. Most days, Idris returned with barely enough to feed his family. Other fishermen with bigger boats went further out, caught more, and sold more. Idris worked just as hard as them, but his results stayed the same. Day after day, month after month, one evening after another disappointing day, Idris sat on the beach, staring at the water. "I wake up early, I work all day, I do everything right," he said quietly. But nothing changes. Stone slowly walked over and rested against his leg. Idris sighed. "At least you stay with me." The next morning, Idris decided to try something different. Instead of staying in the crowded, shallow waters, he pushed his raft further out, toward a rocky area that other fishermen avoided. The other fishermen warned him, "That area is dangerous. The currents are strong. Even experienced fishermen avoid it." But Idris had nothing left to lose. He took Stone with him, as always. The rocky area was difficult to navigate. The water was rougher. It took much longer to reach. But when Idris finally got there, he noticed something strange. The rocks were covered in something he had never seen near the shallow waters. Thick beds of sea oysters, untouched, undisturbed, because no one ever came this far. Idris carefully collected as many as his raft could carry. That evening, he brought them to the market. The oyster seller's eyes widened. "Where do you find these? I haven't seen oysters this fresh in years." For the first time in months, Idris returned home with more money than he had ever earned in a single day. Weeks passed. Idris continued making the long, difficult journey to the rocky area every single day. It was slower. It was harder. It required more patience. But slowly, people began noticing. "Idris always comes back with something good," they said. "How does he do it?" Meanwhile, the fishermen in the crowded shallow waters faced bigger problems. Too many boats, fewer fish, arguments over fishing spots became common. But Idris kept going to the rocky area with Stone beside him, day after day, month after month. One afternoon, a trader from the city visited the coastal town. He noticed Idris carefully helping an elderly fisherman whose raft had broken down, towing him back to shore without asking for anything in return. The trader watched quietly as Stone sat patiently on the raft the entire time, not moving, not making noise, just steady and calm. The trader approached Idris afterward. "You are different from the others here," he said. Idris smiled. The sea taught me to be patient. The trader made him an offer. I supply fresh seafood to restaurants in the city. I need someone reliable who can bring quality oysters every week. The journey is long and difficult, which is why most people refuse. Are you interested? Idris agreed immediately. That single opportunity changed everything. Over the next few years, Idris built a small but steady business supplying oysters to the city. He bought a slightly bigger raft. He repaired his home. He never went hungry again. But every single morning he still went to the sea with Stone. One day, a young boy from the town asked him, "How did you become successful?" Idris looked at Stone resting nearby and smiled. "Because of him." The boy frowned. "But he's just a tortoise. He didn't do anything." Idris replied, "He didn't need to do anything. He just stayed with me, slow and steady, while I learned the most important lesson of my life. Everyone wanted fast results. Everyone rushed toward the same crowded waters. But Stone taught me something. Slow movement is still movement, and patience eventually reaches places that rushing never can." Years later, a massive storm hit the coastal town. The shallow waters near the shore became unsafe and unpredictable for a long time afterward. Many fishermen lost their boats. Many lost their livelihoods overnight. But the rocky area, further from the shore, remained calm and safe, protected by the natural formation of the rocks. The route Idris had been using for years was the only safe fishing area left. The town depended on him now. The same fisherman who once laughed at his useless tortoise stood quietly on the beach, watching him return with supplies for everyone. One old fisherman lowered his head and said, "We mocked you because you were slow." Idris replied calmly, "The sea does not reward speed, it rewards patience. Most people just cannot wait long enough to see it." That night, Idris sat on the beach beside Stone, watching the stars. Stone had grown very old. His movements were even slower now than before. Idris gently placed a hand on his shell. "You never caught a single fish," he whispered, "but you taught me how to wait for the right ones." A few days later, Stone passed away peacefully on the same beach where they had spent so many mornings together. Idris buried him near the shore, facing the sea. People from the town visited the spot because by then, everyone knew the story of the patient tortoise. Idris placed a small wooden marker there. It read, "The fast ones leave first. The patient ones arrive stronger." And that is the lesson of this story. Patience is not about doing nothing. Patience is about continuing to move, even when nothing seems to be happening. Most people give up not because they are weak, but because they cannot tolerate the silence before the breakthrough. They quit during the waiting. They change paths too early. They panic when results are invisible. But real success rarely belongs to the fastest. It belongs to the one who keeps going when everyone else has already turned back. A pearl does not form in a day. The tide does not reshape the shore in an hour. And just like Stone the tortoise, sometimes the slowest journey builds the strongest life. If your life feels slow right now, do not lose hope. Your patience may be building something you cannot see yet. If this story gave you something today, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Subscribe for more stories that help you improve your mindset, your English, and your life.